What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Play Legit podcast, the premier podcast for gaming and real talk. We are your hosts, Koerri Elijah, and I'm here with my good friend KJ. What's going on, man?
What's up, man?
What's up? So today we have a great show for you guys. KJ is going to be letting us know how he feels so far with Ghost of Tsushima. We're going to talk about our indie game spotlight, and then today there was an Xbox game showcase that went on. So we're going to be talking a ton about that. But before we get into everything, guys, I just want to make sure everybody checks out playlegit.net because that's the home, that's the hub. That's where you're going to find everything related to gaming and real talk. That's right. That is the nation. It's a home. Come join the country. It's easy to get a citizenship. All you got to do is come through and hit a like or a follow button on one of our many great social media platforms. That site, that's the home. That's where you're going to want to go. That's the homeland. That's where you can get your flag and all of that good stuff. But then you can also join up at any one of our other social media spots. So you can follow us on Instagram, Twitter. You can follow us on YouTube. Of course, you're going to want to follow us on YouTube. Sub there. Hit that little notification bell because that's where you're going to find the podcast in live format so you can see our beautiful faces. But you're also going to want to subscribe on iTunes as well as Spotify so you can hear our great robust voices there as well. So there's plenty of places where you can join up and become a member of the Legit fam. Come through, come say what's up, leave some comments in the comment section. We're super chill people. Come join the family. So other than that, dude, it's going to be a great episode. You got anything before we get into everything, man?
Yeah, so talking about that exclusive, man, it's Ghost of Tsushima, man. I just wanted to... So I plan on having the review ready next week. That's my goal. So I don't want to give away too much, but I will say that I have been enjoying what's been going on with the game. It was a surprise to me that just some of the things that they're trying in the game and executing properly. And it's just a breath of fresh air. And as much as there's so much fighting going on, at the same time, it's a relaxing game. And I'll get more into that next week, but I'll just let you all know that right now I'm very pleased with what I'm playing.
So visually, what's it looking like?
I think that this is definitely one of the last few big titles on a PS4, and I say that because the visuals, it just seems like it's pretty much maxed out. I mean, they push that photo mode in this game, and you definitely are going to take full advantage of it. You're going to want to use the photo mode because there are certain locations that just look absolutely gorgeous that you will just stop and look and be in awe. I guarantee you, whoever's playing, there's going to be certain places in the world map where you're just going to be like, dang, that looks good.
Wow. And so far in the story, how are you feeling?
I like it very much. So what I've been doing is playing it with subtitles on and letting the Japanese voice actors do their thing. And, obviously I can't speak that language, but I can still tell the delivery of lines, the pitch, the intensity behind lines when it's needed in a scene. You can just tell that it's great voice acting. Now, I haven't switched it over to English. I was thinking about doing that when I played through on the second time, but what I've been going through right now, I really like it. I like the story. I like how it's coming together. It reminds me of classic Akira Kurosawa films. In fact, they even have a filter that you can play the game in black and white with the film grain to replicate the Yojimbo and Seven Samurai. So, yeah.
Oh, wow. Well, dang, that definitely sounds super dope. I've been hearing nothing but good stuff about the game as well. Right now, I'm still trying to power through The Last of Us Part 2. I'm actually going to stream a little bit after we finish the podcast tonight, just so I can kind of continue to force my way through that. So
I don't want to put the heat on you, buddy, but I'm going to go ahead and do it to make the show interesting. You think you can have that review ready next week and we could do like a double deal here?
I will try my best. So right now, if everybody hasn't noticed, we're filming these a day later, these past couple weeks than we usually do. So right now it's Thursday, so that will give me, if we switch it back to Wednesday, that gives me less than a week. I'll do my best. I will say Saturday, I'm pretty much open. So maybe if I do a full stream, you guys come through the stream, follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/Koerri Elijah. And Saturday we'll run a marathon and we'll push through as much of it as humanly possible. That means I'm not going to be able to take that many breaks like I like to do with the game. I may need to go out that night to kind of cleanse myself from the storyline, but I'll do what I can.
Send Koerri alcohol to get him through it, y'all. Send him liquor.
Yeah, so I mean, come through to the stream on Saturday. You guys are listening to this on Friday, so twitch.tv /Koerri Elijah. Come through Saturday, and we'll definitely be doing a power stream pretty much all day of The Last of Us 2, so we can get this double review for you guys in the next episode. So I accept your challenge, KJ. I accept your challenge.
All right.
All right. So, man, we might as well keep things moving here. Let's get into the recognized portion of the show. And our indie game spotlight today is coming from some heat that was just recently dropped. I mean, we kind of heard about this, but we got to see a quick little trailer for Bomb Rush Cyberfunk, the spiritual successor, if you will, to Jet Set Radio. And it brings back the original composer as well. What are your thoughts so far? I mean, when I saw the trailer, I was like, this is pretty much Jet Set Radio, except I'm not seeing any rollerblades, but this is looking like Jet Set Radio to me.
Yeah, in fact, it looks just like the art style and everything remind me exactly like Jet Set Radio Future to a T. I mean, and good, because the thing is, we've been waiting for a follow-up. Both games were successful. We've been waiting for a follow-up. Sega keeps sitting there on awesome IPs. We know Sonic's pretty cool. We know that's your moneymaker, but you also have tons of IPs that you've been sitting on. And that's another reason why Astro City Mini is, people are so excited for it, because these are games that they've just been holding on to for a long time. People have been wanting to play. So with that being said, we've been wanting a true follow-up, and that's still not happening. But this absolutely, to me, is going to really fill the void, as did Yooka-Laylee did for Banjo-Kazooie. You know, it's that thing, well, if these guys aren't going to get it done, we are. We're going to take it upon ourselves to make it happen. I think about, there's a game called, I believe it's Road Renegade, that's pretty much this generation's Road Rash. And I've been playing that. That's really fun. I mean, but it literally is Road Rash, which, again, I don't have a problem with it, because if these guys aren't going to step up and do it, and there's still a market for it, I'm glad that somebody else is like, hey, let's handle it.
Right. Yep. Yeah. Let's step in and let's do it. And you know, there's a space for this, and like you said, like, people have been wanting this, so it's dope to see it. It's amazing that they brought it back, literally almost to a T. But another super dope thing is that they brought in Hideki Naganuma, the original composer. So one of the things that the game Jet Set Radio was so prominent and known for was the amazing music that was in the game too. You can kind of just like freestyle and go around while you're tagging up your stuff or whatever. But the music was just so great, so immersive, and that, I mean, just that ode to bring him back on board to do this is gonna be dope too. I can't wait to hear the sound and just the style of the completed game, you know, with that old school like 80s hip hop feel, you know, that inspired the original games.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as so I'll put it to you like this, it looks so spot on like a Jet Set Radio 3. If someone had just played Jet Set Radio Future when that game first came out and you showed them this trailer and you say, hey, this is going to be the sequel, they wouldn't even bat an eye. They'd be like, oh, yeah, absolutely. They agree with you because that's how much it looked like that. And the sound, of course, was there too. I look forward to that soundtrack when it releases. I'm all in for this game. Like I said, they only showed a little bit of footage, but
Yeah, it was like
they know what's up.
It was like 17 seconds or something like that. It was a very, very, very short, to the point trailer, but they got across what they wanted to get across. So, Team Reptile on their website, it says it will release sometime in 2021. So I mean that's not too far off now. I mean it's already July. Oh, it's pretty much August. So I mean we'll see. We'll get more updates, and we're always going to be here to update you guys with future news on these indie releases as well. So stay locked to playlegit.net so you can get the updates on this title and many other titles as well. But Bomb Rush Cyberfunk is something that we're definitely looking forward to. So keep it locked. So when we get more info, we'll keep you guys filled in.
I just had to look it up real quick. It's Road Redemption is the indie game that was like a spiritual successor to Road Rash. So Road Redemption was the name for that. Because I didn't want nobody getting me on their bike. Hey, buddy.
Well, with that said, we're going to go ahead. We're going to take a quick break. So, just hold up, chill for a quick second. Listen to a word from one of our sponsors here. And then we're going to be back with all of the tea, all of the news of what went down at the Xbox Game Showcase. So we'll be right back right after this. All right, and we are back. KJ, so today, Xbox, they had their game showcase, and I mean, they seemed really pumped about it. Myself, after it was over, I fell asleep and took a nap for a couple hours. I have some notes, but you know how I kind of feel about Xbox. You saw what I put in our in our show notes, so I'll let you kick it off. And
what'd you put?
Well, to be fair, in the show notes, I put this before it even happened. So to be fair, I put a word that starts with a capital T and ends with an H. You guys can decipher that for yourselves. But I mean, it wasn't horrible. It wasn't horrible at all. One thing I will say is this thing, it looks like they may be writing on this being the Xbox Halo. But I mean, who knows? Let's get into it. I mean, there was a lot of things shown. The first thing they let out with before the showcase even started was Halo Infinite. The first title, really the main thing that we all knew that was for sure going to be on the Xbox Series X. What are your thoughts on what they showed? They showed a little bit of gameplay. They showed a little bit of the storyline or whatnot for this. What's your thoughts on this?
So I think when we're talking about Halo Infinite, I think that what they showed was just enough. They showed us some cinematics of the storyline. We see the suit getting put together and stuff like that, and the narration. And I thought that was cool. It was going for that movie thing. And we saw the actual gameplay. We see that he has a grappling hook that looks like that's going to be really interesting when you're needing to get ammo for weapons, especially when you're playing on legendary difficulty of the game. That's really going to be a nice gadget to have. And the gameplay overall, the presentation, it looks like they're going for that classic Halo vibe. They know that they messed up in Halo 5 that left a lot of people disappointed as far as the campaign goes. It looks like they're trying to rectify that by doing a soft reboot. And I'm not against it. I like where they're going with that. It looks like it's going to be a fun shooting game, of course. And So I am interested to see how the multiplayer is, because the multiplayer, in my opinion, I thought that 5 was just doing too much. They gave too many abilities, too much stuff going on, and I think that it just strayed away from the Halo classic feel. I mean, if I want all those power-ups and abilities and all that stuff, I will jump on Apex Legends. I will jump on one of these Call of Duty Black Ops 4 things. It basically turned into one of those kind of games with the last multiplayer, in my opinion. So I am looking forward to seeing how the multiplayer is going to be now, see if they dial back some things and enhance some things. And, it's cool that the game is going to be available on a lot of different platforms. And that seemed to be the theme of this entire event, was the focus on everything that they have. So,
yeah, it almost seems like they're slowly going to try to transform Halo into the Xbox Fortnite or whatever you would call it. I mean, that model is kind of the direction where gaming is going, especially with those styles of games. Do I feel like, how do I feel about it? I don't really care that much, They were saying that this may be the last Halo game, which, also makes me feel like this is going to be a large, drawn out version of Halo that'll, really be infinite.
Yeah, like that's the last Smash Brothers game.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right, exactly. But we're going to keep on dropping DLC, and there'll be more characters, and you'll be able to play the game forever. It's just this is the last time we're building the game. So, I mean, we'll see how this goes. I didn't think it looked too good, honestly, in my opinion, like graphic wise, character model wise. It just, I don't know. To me, it wasn't really like, oh my God, I can't believe this. And for them really to like lead with this, I was like, oh, this is what this is about to be like, huh? So I don't know.
Yeah, so I think it definitely looks fun, especially the enemies coming after you and the different weapons and all that stuff. But as far as like my jaw, was it on the floor by the visuals? No. Well, I think it'd be fun. Definitely not for $70. Yes. So
yeah, so I mean, we'll see more, and as time goes on, these things, especially now, a lot of these games, they get built and then over time they progress and get a lot better. So we'll see. I mean, if they plan on making this a long game, maybe their end result will be exactly what we'll really love. We'll see when the time comes. But with that, Forza, they showed off a new Forza, because these next gen consoles, they got to show off their car games. Gran Turismo was shown off by PlayStation. Now we're seeing the new Forza Motorsport.
So it looks like to me from that, if that is in fact in game, which it probably is, because it's a car game, so I think that it probably is very indicative of what we're going to see. That definitely looked better than Forza, that definitely looked better than the GT. To me, it just looked way better, in my opinion. But
yeah, and
again, like that's a racing car game.
Right. And Forza has that reputation to, they're like the number one car game. So we'll give Xbox that. I'm not into racing games though, so that doesn't really help me much. Moving on from that, a quick trailer that we saw that I wasn't really sure what it was at first. State of Decay 3. That one was kind of like, okay. I mean, State of Decay is I haven't played State of Decay personally, but I've always seen gameplay footage and I'm like, oh man, that game actually looks kind of dope. So this one, it did catch my eye. I'll admit, the wolf being eaten by the zombie deer, that was a interesting twist, to say the least.
So there was no gameplay.
Yeah,
so
I was gonna say no gameplay, but
I mean, with Forza, to me, it looked almost like real life. It looked so good, and I know that was in-game looking stuff. I knew that, but with State of Decay 3, and that's the thing that kept going on. They just would show us cinematics and stuff, and then no gameplay. I mean, I was getting ready to give Ubisoft the business because I'm used to the way that they used to in the past just show cinematics and then nothing. But Ubisoft literally were like, all right, we're going to show our cinematics. But for the most part, minus like Far Cry 6, but for the most part, they'd show that cinematic and then they'd lead in with actual gameplay footage. And I was really hoping that, Microsoft would do that as well. But a lot of these games here are just cinematics, and they could tell me all day it's in-game footage. But anyway, we'll get into it. I'm sorry. Keep going. We'll get into it.
Yeah, I mean, I feel you on that. I was like, oh, that looks cool. And I was like, maybe they'll show us. And nope. No, they're not going to show us. They're just going to say that game's coming out. So, I mean, we'll see when the time comes, I guess. What did you think? What did you think about Everwild from Rare? When I saw,
buddy,
when I saw Rare, I was like, oh, let's they usually make some interesting titles. I figured we'd see something a little, I don't know, a little different. I don't know. What did you think about it?
Well, what I like about Rare is that they're doing stuff that you don't expect them to do. You don't know what they're going to do next. And this is maybe one of my favorite things that I saw. It reminds me of Avatar, and it reminds me of the Breath of the Wild kind of combined. I like the character models. It just seems like it's going to be fun exploring. Again, I really like that art direction, but boy, if there was a game on this lineup that I wanted to see gameplay, this was one of the ones I would definitely wanted to see what it looked like when we're playing. And again, that didn't happen.
Yeah. Yeah, like the art style and all of that, it did look really cool. But again, like you said, without the gameplay, I was like, I really don't know exactly what this is. So it looks cool, but I definitely have to see more. And like you were saying, that was kind of the theme of a lot of the showcases. Like, yeah, we're going to showcase games that we have, which I mean, in essence is what E3 is, I suppose. But with this being just like the solid platform, their showcase, their standalone showcase that they were doing, I kind of expected a little bit more, especially with this next gen. Like, we're going in almost completely blind with this next generation, and we don't know how much this is exactly going to cost. And if it's super expensive and all you're doing is really just upgrading old games that we've played already and giving us some new IPs that we don't even know if they're going to be good, like, what are we,
I mean, to be honest with you, man, thus far, everything that I've seen, a lot of stuff that I want to play, I can play on what I have right now. If I'm being real with you, I'm talking about Sony, Xbox, all of them right now. I haven't necessarily seen anything thus far that's coming out this year that's going to make me like, okay, now I know we're probably going to get the systems because we're going to provide coverage for y'all on the latest games. We got to stay up to date. But I'm just saying, if I was just an average consumer and not, and thinking about buying this system and I don't have to review games or nothing like that, and I'm just chilling, I'll probably just wait because
yeah, it's like, what's the point? I could probably ride the PS4 out for another two years. The way these releases are looking, who knows, man? But
so the overall tone for this press conference was really, really gave me that vibe, because pretty much everything that I wanted to play, when they would at the end of it, at the bottom you'd see available on PC, Series X, and Xbox One. Hey, guess what I have right now? So my question to Microsoft is like, do y'all want us to buy a Series X? When I saw that PlayStation conference, though they chickened out of the pricing like you guys did today, at least they were like, hey, here's the system, we're showing it off, we're doing all these, special effects, we're rotating it around, we're doing all this stuff. whether I like that or not, to me, they say, hey, this is our next. We would like you to buy our next. We're showing you a lot of games for our next. It just seemed like in this, it's just like, it felt like a side piece. The Series X to me felt like a side piece, this entire presentation. It's like, well, I mean, if you want it, you can have it, but you don't worry about it. It's okay. It's like, what?
Right. You're right. Now that you say that, it's kind of like Sony's conference was like, this is the next console. This is all of the games that are going to be on that. You have old games that you like to play that are on the PS4. Hey, you can play those, but this is the new thing. So like, we'll help you bring your old games to the new console, but you're going to have to get the new console. Xbox is kind of like, hey, there's all these games that you love on your old console, and you could still kind of just keep your old console if you want to, and we're going to release new games for the new system too. But if you want to just keep playing your Xbox One, they'll be available for the Xbox One too. So like, please don't be mad at us. Look at the games. They'll look really good if you upgrade, but you don't have to do it.
And that's the thing. And so I might take you up on it, because if I don't have to, I mean, I can take a frame rate hit or maybe a little slight graphic dip if that means I'm going to take in most of the gameplay without spending a load more out of my wallet here. But yeah, it just seemed like to me that Series X just felt like a side piece to Microsoft, and they're the ones that are trying to sell us a brand new system. I don't understand. Now it looks like they're trying to. I think I see what they're trying to do. Like they're trying to slowly integrate everybody into it, and I think that this more slower approach. I think they're hoping that in the long term they'll see the kickback on it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
If they get more people relaxed, and then they'll be more comfortable with buying it down the line. I don't know.
I mean, that kind of goes to show the difference in the fan base though too, and the player pool. Like Sony's not even saying. There's a whole meme that's been going on because people don't even know how much the PS5 is worth, but there's memes of people like laying in beds with old women to secure the PS5. They don't know how much it costs. It could cost $3,500, and they'll do what they have to do to get this PS5. Where are the Xbox Series X memes at?
I'm good on I'm good on all that, because I thought Ratchet and Clank was impressive, but I ain't gonna do that to get Ratchet and Clank.
I'm just saying, it just like the communities, it just kind of shows, and maybe that's why Xbox is taking the approach, because the communities aren't as diehard. I mean, it almost seems like a lot of the Xbox community is like halfway about to jump ship and go to Sony. So they're like, hey, whatever we need to do to keep you in the Microsoft ecosystem, hey, we'll do it. And it's kind of, to me, it's kind of funny, but hopefully they can make it through it. Let's keep it moving though with this, because there's a lot to cover in here. Tell me why. What did you think about that? They kind of looked, I'm not sure exactly what that is, because they didn't even say what the game was.
Thumbs down. That pissed me off. I did not like that. And that guy's haircut was stupid, and it was bothering me the whole time. I would like to not talk about it. You can if you want to.
You didn't like the jean jacket with the fur on the front that was stiff and didn't look like it moved at all?
The graphics would look bad. I wasn't happy with the way it looked. The voice acting was not good, and it was obviously a game that's focused on the narrative. I was not happy with this, and this should not have had a slot on this big time important presentation. This should not have had a slot on here.
Well, it's available next month. Episode 1 is, so for everybody that is interested, Ori is coming as well. It's going to be upgraded for Xbox Series X to run 120 hertz and stunning 4K. So, what you feeling about Ori coming?
Well,
exclusively upgraded for the Xbox Series X.
Well, the deal is everybody knows that those games are absolutely excellent, and the Metacritic will tell you that. So that was cool to see. Yeah, good stuff. But we know it's a good game. We know it's lit. So hey, yep.
uh, what did you think about Obsidian and their little their brief stunt that they had? I thought they kind of snapped a little bit, and I'm interested to see what Avowed is going to be. The quick like little image that we saw, I don't think it was gameplay, but the sword and then the spell being cast. I thought it looked cool. I'm intrigued to see more from Obsidian with that.
Yeah, it didn't. They didn't. I didn't see enough to form an opinion on that. But it's cool that they're doing something.
Yeah, and then also they have there was like this, I forget what it's called, but like you're like really little. You're like it's almost it's like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, except
that looks fun. I want to play that.
Yeah, it did look like it was fun. So I mean, they had their little thing. Obsidian did. So whoop, shaking my table here. As Dusk Falls, another striking looking narrative adventure. Any thoughts?
I'm sorry. I don't think that needed to be on here. It looks like it's going to be cool. It was all right. I mean, I don't know. I just think
say it. More mediocrity.
Well, it's just not my style of game. That's just not my thing, man. I mean, I don't know. I just
in the scheme of a showcase that is supposed to make people excited, it's kind of a it's like cool.
Yeah.
I'm not pumped though. It's not gonna make me spend $600 on a console.
And that's what I'm saying, man. I just think that. So okay, here's what I'm trying to say here. Let this presentation be for your big money makers, because this is the Xbox Game Showcase. So it should be your big top flight, top tier money makers, things that are going to push your system, push your business, move your brand forward.
I'm trying to see explosions. I'm trying to see,
Right. That's what this is for. Now, if they had like a separate indie game showcase, then I'd be more prepared for that. And now I'm not saying indie games don't belong here. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying this type of game, I feel, could have been a trailer that Xbox posted on their YouTube after the fact. This seems like something just like in addition to, hey, here's some more bonus videos that y'all can check out.
Yeah, like Sony or even Nintendo would do. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But Sony did have some hot trash for indie games, so let's not get that.
Hey, I'm not. I won't. I'm not here to defend them in that. So.
All right. Remember, my memory's good, brother.
Hey, everybody got some stuff I didn't ask for. So, what about how you feel about Psychonauts?
Well, I think that's going to be a fun game, man. I like the song that Jack Black was singing, that hippie trippy thing going on. That was cool.
Yeah, they got points just because they brought in Jack Black, honestly. Shouts out to Jablinski Games, I suppose.
And I'll be sure to play it on my Xbox One.
That's right, because it's available. Yeah. Destiny 2.
Okay.
Destiny 2 being optimized for the Xbox Series X. Also, they said something about it being available mobile too, and so.
This should not have been given a slot on this show. How long is Destiny 2 has been out for a while. We know all about Destiny 2 and what's available. Right? Yeah, it's been around. And so the fact that not only did it get a slot, but it got a long time for me. It like what they did with Ori, that was real quick. They were just like, hey, this is happening. Remember this game's Fuego. This is happening. That was quick. Am I wrong? But didn't it seem like they had like a long presentation for something that's just being recycled?
Yeah. I mean, I have no interest in Destiny whatsoever. So I played the first Destiny, and it didn't do what it was supposed to do for me. So everybody, and like I had people rough, like, dude, man, hop on this Destiny 2, bro. Come on, we got the squad. I'm like, nah, bro. It just doesn't do it for me. So them spending all of the time on Destiny 2, I was like, I mean, Destiny 3, maybe I would have gotten, but whatever, shouts out to 343 still making that, right?
No,
So
they never
no.
did. It was
Oh no, it's
Bungie.
Bungie. It's Bungie. My
Yeah.
bad. That was my mistake. Yeah, it's Bungie. My mistake. Yep. So shouts out to Bungie for continuing to get the bag. You found a
Bungie
way.
bag.
You found a way to keep that game going. So salutes to you. But you will not be getting any money from me. Stalker 2, quick announcement. Just, a lot of the stuff, like when they ended the showcase, I was like, dude, what did you really show? Because a lot of the stuff, it's like you say something, there's no gameplay, or it's a recycled game, or it's
The Stalker
Halo.
2 would have been something to see. And again, like it was just cinematic. But to me, and I'll be honest with you, probably the biggest disappointment from this conference for me was Hellblade. Because when they first showed gameplay, that was like the last year's Game Awards, I believe, when they showed footage of Hellblade 2, and they're telling us like that's running in game. So what we saw is the game is going to look like that. That's what they're saying. So this whole time I've been like, man, I really look forward to seeing what this thing is going to look like when we play. And they showed us absolutely nothing. They had the guy talking. He had, he was really happy about the game, and good on you. I mean, that's great that you're excited about it and you're passionate about it. We feel the same way about playing it.
Mm-hmm.
The first game was a very big hit. It had a really, really unique story that really made a lot of people happy. But with that being said, it was a lot of smoke and mirrors and no action. I was very disappointed that we did not see anything from that game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, honestly, that's this whole showcase, man. It kind of like the only thing that really got me, and like literally I got emotional for some reason when this came on. It could have been like the montage of all of like the different like people of different like walks of life, and people with like their kids holding controllers and all of this stuff. But when Tetris Effect came in, literally like tears came to my eye. For some reason, Tetris has survived this long. It's still bringing people together. It's still creating new gamers. Is still innovating and doing things at a scale that a game so simple you wouldn't think it could do. And maybe that's what caught my emotions. Like it's like me just thinking like, dang, bro, it's 2020, we're going into the next gen, and these cats are actually showing Tetris in their game showcase. Like it's still up here, like it's a AAA title. Like I don't know, something about
It got
that.
a lot of time, didn't it?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it was like a whole little thing. Like I don't know, man.
To me, that
Tetris.
would have been like a montage. If you're doing a montage of stuff coming, that would have been like, okay, quickly, Tetris, this is coming. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like I wouldn't. I'm not against them showing it because Tetris is, eternal as far as I'm concerned. But it didn't need all that time. We know what we're playing. Come on now.
Yeah, I know. But I was like, oh man, it did catch me up, and I didn't know what it was at first, and then all of a sudden it's like Tetris, and I'm like, oh snap. I was like, yeah, I mean, I guess you are like a goat, huh? But yeah. Yeah, but another thing I noticed just in my notes here, there's some they led with like so many like things were like, all right, this is the segment of exclusives now, right? But like all of them were only timed exclusives, or at least the majority of them were timed exclusives. So like console launch exclusive and stuff like that. Nice, like
Yeah, the wordplay on that was so weird. y'all don't have to even say that stuff. Just say, hey, this is coming out. Like, you don't have to use that verbiage. We are smart. We know. We can see, like, hey, y'all don't need to be slick with that.
We know that means it's only going to be exclusive for a limited time. It's okay, bro. Like, whatever.
It's okay. So whether it's available, it's not going to affect me as a consumer. The fact that it's available on PC, you know what I'm saying? Like, if I want to play that game, I'm gonna still get it. So the fact y'all don't have to be so slick with the verbiage. Please stop that.
It's kind of cringe, honestly. It's
Yeah,
kind of cringe.
it
What did you think about Gunk?
Oh man, I was so impressed with that. I thought that game looks fun. Again, like, I'll be able to play it on Xbox One if I want to. So, but yeah, man, that looks so much fun. Like, her robotic arm, obviously she can defend herself with it, but it looks like it has a vacuum thing going on as well. I really liked the world that she was walking around in. Yeah, I will be playing that game. I was very happy with that.
Yeah, I thought that looked really cool too. And it's like new IP. I'm like, all right, cool, and it's different. So I think that looks cool. It's definitely one that kind of caught my eye too. What do you think about the Medium?
Medium to me was very impressive looking. I thought that looked like a good game, and if they can utilize that, the going between two worlds, and it looks like they're going to have sequences where you are playing it at the same time, both worlds. Now that is indicative of next gen right there. The fact that you're going to be able to play you're essentially playing two games at the same time. If they really handle it well and with the graphics, I mean, that game could probably legitimately scare people if they're able to really take advantage of the system, which it looks like they're going to. That's another game that impressed me very much.
Yeah, when I saw that, I was like, yeah, that's what's up. That's next gen, running two, like, the solid, like, the starting dimension and an alternate dimension simultaneously, and then switching between the two, kind of giving you like that Ratchet and Clank, except not as cartoonish, done in like a horror setting where it's like, depending on which reality that you're in, you may have to be in this realm to see certain things, or you might have to be in this one. Like, it showed, like, in one, you couldn't see the giant monster that was there, but when you're in like that dark realm where you're like cutting through like the skin and all of that, like, that's where the giant monster was. So that looks super interesting. That was, like you said, looks next gen, and that's the type of stuff that I'm looking forward to see happen. Like, you're telling us about these teraflops. Let's see these things run in action, and running two games at the same time, pretty much, that's amazing. And just, even if the game and the story is like not the best, just the fact that they took the time to kind of lay the groundwork for this style to kind of come into this generation. I can't wait to see how this ends up, and I can't wait to see other people dabble with the same sort of concepts.
Absolutely.
Imagine, and this is just me being out there. WB Games, Xbox, you have this console. If you're obtaining WB Games and you want to have rights to make all of these DC things, think about the DC multiverse. Just think about that. Think about the different universes and things that you could bring into play. Some sort of Elseworlds story type game, even maybe like a Flashpoint type game or something like that. Would be amazing. You have the capabilities.
I think a game with the Flash could be awesome on this next generation.
Yeah. And it hasn't been done. And people love the Flash. So, hey, we're just people, brainstorming. But if you're an indie dev, if you're a AAA dev, whatever it may be, or if you're just someone that's high up and you're hearing what we're talking about, think about these things, because I know I would buy something like that. Sega Phantasy Star Online 2 New Genesis.
Man, that looks awesome.
Yeah, switching from the blade to the gun. I will admit, graphically, I wasn't impressed. gameplay wise, I was like, okay, but it is Phantasy Star Online. I wasn't aware at first that it was Phantasy Star Online, so I was like, I'm not really. I don't like how this looks. The gameplay looks cool. The character design looks cool. But then once I realized exactly what the game is, I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. I understand why it kind of
And it's another cross-platform game too. So again, like that's gonna be another one available on Xbox One. So, but yeah, that combat, it actually just the presentation reminded me of the Xenoblade games that have been on the Switch. It kind of reminded me of that kind of color scheme and the way that the combat looked, which that's a good thing as far as I'm concerned. So, yeah, I would like to play that.
What do you think about Crossfire X coming out later this year?
That looks pretty cool, man. I would like to. I want to know more about it. Honestly, I'm going to do more research on it. I think that'd be something we could cover in the future. And the reason why I'm very interested in it is because of who is making it, and that's Remedy. And they've done some tremendous games in Alan Wake. I don't know if you played that. That's a really good game, Alan Wake. They've done the Max Payne games. They've done Control, which I heard was a really good game, utilizing telekinesis to solve puzzles and different things. So they approach games differently than most. So when I see like that first person shooting action going on and stuff, I just know that the fact that they made it, it's going to have stuff that maybe another studio wouldn't be able to do. But Remedy, they just think differently. That's why I am interested in that game.
And when you say they think differently, they definitely do, because throughout the entire trailer, they had a very familiar song playing unfamiliarly. They had X Gonna Give It To You playing, except it was not DMX. It was like an angelic rendition of X Gonna Give It To You. Yeah,
I didn't even notice that. I gotta go back and listen to it.
Yeah, I was like, what is happening right now? But yeah, it was pretty
Was it
cool.
like a coffee shop version of X Gonna Give It To You, like you're at Starbucks and so it's
yeah, cause like it was. It was. I was like, what is? I was like, what is happening right now? But yeah, it drew me in, and it like made me like pay attention more to what was going on. So, because I was just trying to figure out, I was like, did this really happen like this? But yeah, so yeah, so that was a fun one there. And then we're saying that Playground Games is reviving Fable. Now, we'll see, right, how this ends up. If they can make this Fable what everybody thought the first Fable was going to be, I will buy an Xbox. You heard it here first. If they can make this Fable game what the first Fable claimed it was going to be, with the capabilities of this next gen that's coming out, I will buy an Xbox Series X. But if they drop a Fable with the capabilities of the Xbox Series X and it's not what the original Fable claimed it was going to be, I will never buy an Xbox ever. So that's my take on that. What do you like Fable? Did you ever buy into the hype?
You keep putting together like weird scenarios so you can avoid getting an Xbox. Like last week you were saying, well, they have to make an exclusive DC superhero game. I was like, bro, you keep.
I'm trying to make things happen, right?
Matt Booty has to come to your door and shake your hand for you to get it.
Matt Booty. Hey, Matt Booty, if you come shake my hand with gloves on, then and then also make Fable, or make sure that they make Fable what the original Fable was supposed to be, then I will buy an Xbox Series X. I don't know if you like, I literally like to this day, and maybe this is kind of why I feel the way I do about Xbox, because I was so bitter because what they claimed that Fable was going to be, and then what we actually got, it was such a disappointment. And I was like, dude, this is horrible. I can never trust you guys ever again. So I don't know. Are you looking forward to it? Do you just not want to be disappointed like me?
The deal is they didn't show me nothing. I'm happy that they're making it, but I didn't see nothing. I guess it's just because of where I'm at in life and you know my age and all that. I just don't get excited when it's just a cinematic and nothing to follow it up with. That's cool that Fable is confirmed, but for me, it's like, man, y'all have got to show me something, especially when these games are as much as they are. And I'm gonna the people that are showing and telling and doing and showing out are the people who are going to get my. If I have to choose between somebody who's showing me nothing and someone who's showing out, I'm rolling with the team that's saying, "Hey, I would like your business, and I'm not playing with you. This is what I'm doing." You know,
this is what we got over here. No, I definitely feel you there, man. And that kind of seems like just kind of listening to you throughout, you know, this whole kind of overview of the showcase is, bro, you have not even shown me anything. So it's either that or, I mean, there were some gems. There's a few gems, but it's a lot of, hey, you didn't show me anything, or hey, I can play that on the Xbox One. So I mean,
I got my 5 games that I like the most in order. So
okay.
I'll start. I'll go 5 and I'll go down to number 1. So 5, I have Crossfire X.
Mm-hmm.
At number 4, I have the Gunk.
Okay.
At number 3, I have Halo Infinite.
Okay.
At number 2, I have Everwild.
Nice.
At number 1, I have Medium.
Nice. I like that. I think that's a nice 1 through 5. Medium kind of being the most promising, being a new IP, but then also being a new style as well. Really bringing in the heat, showing us a lot of. I mean, I imagine some of it was gameplay. It could have all been cinematic, but who knows? But it looks interesting. It intrigues me to say the least. So having that up at the top spot, I have no issue with that as well. You got Gunk in there too on the list, Crossfire X. So good picks, in my opinion. What do you guys think? Hit us up in the comments below. Let us know your top 5 from the Xbox Game Showcase. Hit us up in the comments or hit us up on Twitter or on Instagram. Hit us up in our comments, you know. Let us know your top 5. We want to know from you guys. Did you like the Xbox Game Showcase? Do you think they could have brought the heat a little bit more? Are you going to be getting an Xbox Series X? Are you going to just, you know, hold on to your Xbox One as long as you can, like KJ?
It seems like Microsoft wants you to. From what I saw today, seems like they're cool with that. They don't want my business. Is what it seems like.
Hey, man, let us know. Let us know in the comments below. We want to thank everybody for tuning into the podcast. But before you go, make sure you check out playlegit.net. That is the home. That's the hub. That's where you're going to find everything related to gaming and real talk, including the Play Legit podcast.
That's facts.
Hit us up on social media, like we said, with any questions, comments, or concerns that you may have, anything that you might want to hear here on the show, as well as, you know, just thoughts. If you got opinions on, you know, my mustache that I have now or whatever it may be, just let us know, dude. We're friendly people. We're easily accessible. A lot of cool stuff coming up in the future as well. I'm going to be trying to hustle to get The Last of Us Part 2 done. You know, so we can do this dual review next week with The Last of Us Part 2 and The Ghost of Tsushima. So check out my Twitch channel. I'll be streaming Saturday, which will be tomorrow for you guys that are listening. The first day we drop this, twitch.tv/Koerri Elijah. Come give me energy. Send your spirit to my spirit bomb so I can get through The Last of Us Part 2.
Let me stop. I'm just playing. Give him some coffee.
Yeah, man. Give me some coffee. Yeah, if it's liquor, I'll fall asleep and I won't be able to finish. So yeah, you got anything before we get out of here,
But you're gonna
KJ?
need to get through that story though.
I know it's rough, bro. Maybe I'll just do some beer, man. Maybe I'll just do some beer.
There you go.
Yes, sir. Before we go, got anything for us?
You know, I will say I'm a little bit disappointed from this deal today. But with that being said, it's also good news because I know that a lot of the stuff I'll be able to still get on my system I have. So
So at the end of the day, it's like disheartening, kind of, but it's like, well, at least I don't necessarily have to rush to buy the Xbox Series X.
yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. Well, until next week, guys. Thank you for tuning in. You all are amazing. You already know that. You don't need us to tell you that. So thanks for tuning in. We will catch y'all in the next one. Peace.